Howdy, I'm Lee Wilson, and this is TGO Wyoming, on the move. And today I'm heading back from grabbing some breakfast at McDonald's, and the wind is blowing something fierce. Like, this is insane, even for Casper. I mean, this is a windy city, and this is just ridiculous. It's blowing the Land Cruiser around like crazy. And speaking of the Land Cruiser, that's the topic of today's discussion, is the ECT Button, the Electronically Controlled Transmission, also known as Power Mode. When you need all the power that this vehicle has to offer, well, you hit the little ECT button on the dash here, and boom, you get a little green PWR, power, on the dash light, and boom, it changes all of the transmission shift points. So the ECT button, the power mode, makes this vehicle a lot more fun to drive. It really just ramps up the power curve. Normally in regular mode, it's all torque, and I very rarely see the tachometer go above 2,000 RPM. But it's a little sluggish, and you kind of got to drive it like it's a tank. And I'd prefer to think this thing is a small armored personnel carrier, at least as far as weight and maneuverability goes. The Suburban is the tank. But, yeah, it's, you have to drive it carefully, you have to drive it cautiously, and you have to be a very defensive driver because it just doesn't have a lot of get up and go. So you hit that power button, though, and all of a sudden the engine just has some zip, it has some spunk. So as an experiment, I decided, you know what, I'm going to see what my fuel economy is like if I leave it in the power mode for the full 2 weeks, because I fill up every 2 weeks. Just payday comes along, I fill up. I don't drive that much. Realistically, if I just drove to work and around for work and everything, I'd probably drive about 3,500 miles a year. The national average is 12,000 miles a year. Factor in some extraneous trips, going to the range, going adventuring, taking some fun trips, and puts me right around 6,300, 6,500 miles a year average. And I'm using my Fill Up app to, calculate that out based on the last 6 months of driving, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. So I really wanted to see if my fuel economy would go down. Now, lately, I've only been getting 9.5 miles to the gallon, roughly, average, with standard city driving. Now, if I go out on a trip, oh my goodness, somebody just almost ran over a man and his dog. So that's great. Thankfully, nothing bad happened there. But, like I said, normally under city driving, 9.5 miles to the gallon. If I take a road trip, I can get my average up to about 12, 13 miles per gallon based on highway driving. I've also noticed I get much better fuel economy when I'm driving off-road. I think that's because it's less start-stop and it's very consistent or low RPMs. And so in the power mode, I was like, okay, so this thing is, of course, zippier, easier to get around. I'm going to lose my fuel economy. Well, lo and behold, shocker upon shockers, I went up a full mile per gallon average. A little strange. I still haven't actually figured it out. Why I'm getting better fuel economy while using, allowing the engine to rev up to higher RPMs. Now, maybe it has something to do with the torque curve. Maybe having the torquier engine setting or torquier transmission setting is using up more fuel, and maybe allowing it to free rev out a little bit more is using less fuel. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, thoughts of why this is happening, please let me know. Educate me and educate the rest of the viewers with your comment in the comment box below. So it's a weird phenomenon, but I will take it because honestly, the Land Cruiser is a lot more fun in the power mode, at least for city driving. Now, it's not something I'm going to use in my off-road driving, of course, because I want to have, tractability. I want that torque. I want it to be, very smooth, very predictable, and not really have any big power spikes. I just want it to chug, chug, chug right along. But man, I tell you what, for driving around town, which is probably 80% of what I do, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So, and I will definitely take the fuel economy boost because even though gas has definitely gotten cheaper, at the time of recording, the last time I filled it up a few days ago, I paid $1.93 a gallon. Hot damn, that's great. I will take it. Of course, low gas prices always seem to come whenever the weather starts getting bad and I am not going to be able to take off and go across the mountains, or take a trip to Lander, or go up to Buffalo, or go play in the Bighorns or something like that, because that's how life works, right? Gas is always cheap when you don't necessarily want to get out and use it. No, I might take a trip out to Lander or something with the family and do some cool stuff out there. It's a really fun place to go visit, and we could definitely factor in a road trip, but we'll see what the weather holds. I mean, the snow's kind of melted off, but it's winter. It's winter, and it has definitely hit us. So yeah, that's my observation about the craziness of the Land Cruiser and the awesomeness of the power mode, or the electronically controlled transmission button. Yeah, it's a great little button on that dash, and I'm sure glad to have it. So if you guys have found this video entertaining and or educational, please let me know in the comment box below. I enjoy hearing from you, and I try to reply to everybody's comments in a timely manner. Yes, I do. Sometimes I don't get to all of them, but I try to. And of course, if you want to help support this channel, you can always click that donate annotation up above. That's if you have money burning a hole in your pocket and you just don't know what to do with it. Feel free to send some my way, and I will get some cool stuff and review it for your entertainment. And of course, if you don't want to donate monetarily, which is fine by me if you don't want to, trust me, there's no hard feelings there, you can really help me out by hitting that like button. Yes, that little thumbs up. It definitely helps every time you click that. And of course, share this video on whatever social media platform you choose to use. And of course, you can always subscribe and stay up to date on the latest videos that I post. And as always, thanks again for watching. Stay safe, shoot straight. I'll see you all next time.